guys, we're back. Okay, so when I last finished off, I had epoxied all this and glittered it. When it was done drying, when the epoxy was done drying, I went ahead and did a couple coats of this Krylon clear glaze. And it was kind of just to hold the glitter in place because we're going to be painting over the gold glitter and pouring different colored glitter on it. So we didn't want them to mix. Okay, so I have here a plate and it's just Mod Podge. How do you say it? Mod Podge. And the color that I'm going to be using for this leopard print is actually just, it's a cheap Michael's glitter that I found that was, I've never used it before. It's a really pretty dark bronzy brown. Let's see. It doesn't, these don't say color names. So yeah, but it's a dark brown. You can find it at Michael's, just in the cheap section. From time to time, I do like to buy cheap glitter, especially at Michael's. They have some good deals. But just for like little details, you know, when you're not pouring a ton of glitter on. Let's see. See if I can get this open. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing, and there's no rhyme or reason to this. I mean, it's just preference, how you like it, how many leopard spots you like, or cheetah spots that you like. So you kind of just go with the flow. You kind of do it as you would like. So here's some Mod Podge, and I have a tiny bristled brush. Usually an angled brush is better, but I don't currently have one, but this works too. So you're just gonna dip your brush in Mod Podge, and you're just going to start applying. And you want to make sure but I mean, you do the leopard print evenly, different spots. But like I said, there's no rhyme or reason. Your leopard spots, your cheetah print can be as big as you'd like it. There's no right way to do it. There's no wrong way to do it. It's just preference, what you like. I tend to like mine a little smaller, only because when we go to outline this with black glitter, they do get larger. So, I mean, it's just preference. And none of these are actual circles. They're just, I'm just blotting on this Mod Podge. However I would like. It's not, you know, obviously cheetahs don't run around with perfect spots. So I have a piece of paper here to catch all the glitter that falls. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna start sprinkling where the Mod Podge is. doesn't stand out too much yet, but once you put on the outline of the black glitter, you're definitely going to be able to see the cheetah print. Okay, there we go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take a break and let this dry, and I'll get back to you. Okay, so I'm back. Let's see if I can shake this up. Okay, so I have some Mod Podge on a plate right here, and I'm going to be using black Recollections glitter to outline the cheetah spots that we already did. It's just a plain black glitter, nothing special. To make the lines a little more pigmented and to make them darker and to really pop, I'm going to go ahead and use some black acrylic paint, and I'm going to mix it in with the Mod Podge. And like I said, this kind of just gives it more of like a crisp, dark black, so the black doesn't get lost with the bronzy brown. So a little bit of acrylic paint, I'm just going to mix it in here. Mix it in with the Mod Podge. Typically, I would probably mix this in a container, not on a plate. But for some reason, I started with a plate today. Let's add a little bit more black to make it a little bit too gray for me. Make it a little bit darker. And like I said, this is just so that when you pour the black glitter on, it already has a black base to fall on, so it tends to be darker. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I am currently, probably should have mixed it with a popsicle stick, not the paintbrush that I'm using, but that's okay. Okay. So I'm using a small brush, very thin brush, and that's just so I can really get the outsides, the small detail of the black. Okay, so I'm just gonna dip my paintbrush in the black, and each spot I'm kind of, and like I said, there's no rhyme or reason to this. You don't want the black to go completely around the spot. You just want to do little bits and pieces outside of it. So I'm going to dab this around, and I'm going to do it to each one. And each one can be different. I mean, it's preference, it's whatever you like. Some of them I also tend to not put black, so it kind of gives it a little bit of a mix-up. trying, some of the Mod Podge is drying, so I'm kind of just wetting up some of the spots I started with. Okay, I didn't do all the spots, but I don't want this to, all the Mod Podge to dry on me. So I'm going to sprinkle right where I put the black. And don't worry, the clear glaze that you first originally sprayed is going to prevent the black from clinging to the cup. When you are doing the leopard print technique, I would highly, highly recommend spraying a coat of any kind of clear acrylic glaze on your cup. I know Rust-Oleum makes some, the Krylon makes this clear glaze. There's also one called Kamar Varnish. Any type of clear glaze works though. I think pretty much any spray paint company makes some. I would highly recommend though, doing a clear coat before you start your leopard print. Only because if you don't do a clear coat, when you pour all of this glitter for the leopard print, it tends to get stuck and the underneath layers have fallout, as well as these having fallout, and they can mix. This kind of ensures that your leopard print is just these two colors. Just these two colors, and it stays those two colors and doesn't mix. So yeah, that's looking pretty awesome, guys. I'm super excited. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to leave a comment, message me. You can contact me on my Instagram. It's Quinny's Bows and More. I do infant and toddler bows, head wraps, accessories, pacifier clips, and tumblers for mamas. My next step is going to be to go ahead and let this dry, fully dry for a couple hours, and then I'm going to put a layer of epoxy over it. And then I'm still not done, because this girl is an up-and-coming country singer. This is too plain for her. For me, it'd be fine. I'm a plain Jane. This would actually be kind of loud for me. But she is an up-and-coming country singer, and she is going in concert with, like I said, Dierks Bentley, Kane Brown, a bunch of big names. So she has to stand out. So I am not done. I have also purchased some, sorry for my arm, purchased some jewels, glitter jewels, to make it extra blingy and extra sparkly. So after the layer of epoxy dries, we'll come back and we'll figure out how to do this. We will just, I mean, there's no rhyme or reason I don't have a plan. I kind of just go with the flow when I make tumblers. And so far I haven't had a complaint. But yeah, so that is the leopard print. And I will be back as soon as the epoxy dries on it. Bye guys.